Welcome to the Gratitude and Attitude Podcast, an organic and sometimes hilarious ongoing conversation between two soul sisters who have a lot of gratitude and sometimes a little bit of attitude. Welcome to the Gratitude and Attitude Podcast. We are on episode 2.
Yeah.
So we've made it 2 weeks so far, and we welcome you. I'm Pri.
I'm Nan.
And Carlos is in the house again.
And
Hello, everyone.
And Carlos is our IT guy, just to let everyone know. He's a very big part of this.
Huge. He's the only reason we have all this
circus.
stuff. And also shout out to our amazing producer, George, who's the best. We love you, George.
Yep.
And, you know, tell me about your last week. Tell me about
anything interesting happened in my week?
Nothing interesting happened in my week. No, but what about you?
Let's see. I had a funny phone call. Well, you want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yesterday, I was waiting for my air conditioning people to call me back.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had a guy at my house working doing tile, and he was chipping up this tile, and he had to be really careful not to break any more tile.
Yeah.
Anyway, I decided to call the air conditioning people. So I'm calling them on the phone. And as I'm calling them, I'm talking to my tile guy, and I'm like, wow, that's a pain in the ass. Right? To chip up. And I go, that's a pain in the ass. So as soon as I said that, the girl at the air conditioning place answered, but I didn't know if she heard me or not. So I didn't say anything, but she connected me to who I need to talk to.
Yeah.
So the lady comes out and she says, I'm so sorry we're pains in the asses, she says. But I'm really sorry that we had to cancel on you several times. And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, I wasn't calling you a pain in the ass. I was saying that my guy who was chipping up my tile, it was a pain in the ass to chip the tile up.
And did she believe you?
I don't know. I wanted to take a picture of him and just text it to her.
You wanted to prove
I did. I wanted to
weren't impugning their integrity by calling them a pain in the ass.
I did. I wanted to send it to her, but I didn't do it.
That is so funny.
But I felt bad.
Are you still thinking about it?
I am. That's why I brought it up. What do you think, Carlos?
That was funny.
Carlos. They thought she was saying they were the PITA.
I know. Oh, you can't say pain in the ass?
No, I can say pain in the ass, but I wanted to say it a different way because we've said it like 17 times in 30 seconds.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, we can edit some of it out. Anyway, so that's interesting.
Well, that is interesting.
No, that was just my phone call yesterday, but I thought it was funny because you gotta be careful.
You get funny phone calls though.
Yeah.
Remember that guy who called you? For real estate. You got to tell that story though. It's such a good one.
I forget it.
No, remember he called you and you didn't know who he was.
Oh yeah.
Remember that story?
He called me and he called me on a bad day.
Okay.
Remember? I think I was having a really bad day.
Okay. You had gone out to lunch with somebody.
Oh yeah.
And you had a hard lunch with the person. And then tell the story though. Tell Carlos the story.
Well, I got a phone
Carlos,
call.
Do you remember this story?
I remember that.
You remember, but I usually don't answer my phone if I don't know the number. But I answered it, and I think it was an insurance company trying to sell realtors insurance.
Yes.
And you have to remind me because I might forget.
Okay.
So I think he asked me, I can't remember exactly.
Said, do you sell real estate?
Oh, yeah. And I said, well, I did. I'm not really selling it anymore. I just do personal stuff.
Yeah.
And then he goes, sure you do. And I go, what do you mean, sure I do? He goes, sure you do. And
he didn't believe
me that I didn't sell real estate. And I don't know, did I hang up on him?
You said, that's so rude.
Oh yeah, I go, that's really rude of you.
That's really rude.
No.
Oh.
He hung up or something and I called him back.
Yeah, no, this is what happened.
I can't see it.
I know exactly what happened. Okay. He said, do you sell real estate? And you were like, not anymore.
Yeah.
I just do stuff personally. Right. And he goes, sure you do.
Uh-huh.
And you were like, he goes, sure you do. And you were like, what? And he goes, well, what do you do?
Yes.
And then you went something like,
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's none of your business or something like that. And you hung up.
And then I called him back.
And you called him back.
I did.
And he was like, hello. And, and you were like,
That was rude.
You go, that was so rude.
Yeah, you should be careful what you say, like how you say things to people.
But the fact that you called
I
him
was
back
having
was
a
the best thing.
bad day.
It's the phone thing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was funny.
It's the phone thing, and you had reason to feel like you had been tried.
He was so rude, and then I started thinking, what if he's like a crazy person or
A
something?
serial killer.
Oh, yeah, I remember that day, but I don't remember the whole story. It's so good you remember.
Yeah, I remember because I was so in awe that she was so irritated.
I was.
She
irritated.
freaking called him back. I was like, you have like yucky interaction with somebody. Okay, conversation over. But homegirl's like, I'm going to call him and tell him he's rude.
Yeah.
But I love that story.
Oh, gosh.
And you and the phone, it like makes me laugh.
One of my great moments.
The phones.
Yeah.
Speaking of great moments.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Our podcast today is when our journey becomes our memories.
Yeah, that's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And we, Nanny and I were talking, and we've done a ton of travel together and been like all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought we have some like valuable, well, we definitely have some good stories, but we also have some valuable lessons from some of those.
Yeah.
You know, like
Definitely traveling.
Yeah, traveling. And then
It's
also
not
like,
easy traveling anymore. Traveling, what happened to traveling being such a great experience? I mean, I'm talking about the actual traveling, not when you're at your destinations, but the traveling, the airport.
Getting to the place is the
nightmare.
hardest part, or getting home.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
It's
especially
really
if you're
hard.
overseas.
Yeah.
Then it's even.
Yeah.
You better plan if you're going to change planes, you better have 5 hours in between.
I know.
Because there's a very good chance that you're going to miss your plane in the connection if you have 45 minutes, an hour.
No, not enough time. So just for everybody's reference, if you're looking at connections or if you don't travel as much, we've done a lot of travel and no travel, but recently over the last couple of years, we've done a bunch of travel.
Yeah. We, last summer we went, took a trip to Croatia with a bunch of people, a bunch of friends, did like a cruise. And then we went to Italy.
Yeah.
So we had some good times on that trip. It was beautiful.
Oh my God. It was
really
so stunning.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
Beautiful. What was your most memorable part of that Croatia trip? I'm just asking.
I'm laughing because something about me, along with like all my other like extremely OCD qualities, I like to be in very small groups of people. And it was like a larger group of people. Larger meaning like for me, larger is like 10 people.
Right.
And so, but there were some memorable moments. I think one of my, Carlos, I don't think we ever told you this story, but and Nanny's not giving herself any credit, but she put the trip together. And it was like chartering a big boat, like a super yacht, which sounds so snooty, but it was so fun.
Yeah.
And
it was
within
that
reach.
Expensive. It wasn't.
It was totally within reach for everybody who did it. So it was about 30 people?
It was like 37 rooms. It was 37 rooms.
37?
No, 27.
27 rooms.
27 rooms.
Yeah. Are you sure it wasn't 27 people?
Or was
how many cabins?
God, like I had the worst memory in the world.
Okay, everybody. That's what Nanny's proving today is that she cannot remember. Well, I don't think it was 37 rooms. I think it was like
sorry, time out. You're right. 17 couples.
17 couples.
So it was
and me because my sweetheart couldn't come.
Yeah.
So anyway,
terrible. I can't remember shit. It's awful.
So we would go, like the food on the boat was amazing. It was like gourmet. It was like served in like courses and it was delicious. And it was always matched a wine with something during lunch. And you'd be like swimming around in a harbor or something. And you'd come in and you'd be able to sit down in your your bathing suit and cover up and eat a nice meal. And then every night we'd stop at like a historic place or this amazing. So we're sailing down the coast of Croatia. That's what the trip was. And every time we went, it would be this amazing venue. And Nanny actually coordinated the whole thing with the guy who owns the boat. And so he had picked all these amazing spots. But we would sit down in these incredible like local restaurants that, were like super like dialed in, had amazing coast, like a view of the coastline or incredible like arbors, grape arbors over you and candlelight.
The first one was the best. Wasn't the
it
first
was
one
so
the best?
The first one was the best because we ate a Croatian meal and it was like new for us.
Mhm.
And when we asked the server, what is this delicious food?
Mhm.
The server was like, oh, meat, fish, and vegetables.
Yeah.
We're like, meat, fish, and
And
vegetables?
vegetables.
Oh, it's a Croatian dish. It's
Yeah.
meat, fish, and vegetables. We were like, oh, delicious. Fast forward to day 2. It's also meat, fish, and vegetables.
And sardines. You begin with sardines, like these. I love sardines. I mean, so I was like, by the end of the trip, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't eat another sardine.
We had sardines, meat, fish, and vegetables. And we had a friend on the trip who we adore. And he said, I bet it's one company. I bet it's like meat, fish, and vegetables incorporated. And they bring you the same food that you didn't finish the night before. And they bring it over and over and over and over again.
That wasn't the crew. I mean, that wasn't part of the yacht thing. It was just a local, like
he
people.
coordinated with like local owners.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Somebody asked somebody to get married.
Yeah, that
on
was
the trip.
really nice.
Yeah, that was fun on that like stone beach or whatever.
It was
So
fun.
you were asking me what like, I guess
your
that's
highlight.
the
The
highlight.
meat, fish, and vegetables.
The highlight was meat, fish, and vegetables. What was your highlight?
I think my highlight was like at night, and we used to dance on the boat. Like everybody was dancing and having fun and hula hooping.
Yeah, hula hooping.
Lauren, we got to give Lauren a shout out for hula hooping. My niece, she was
Lauren,
the best.
you are an amazing hula hooper. We didn't know that. Like,
and she didn't even move. It was like
it almost felt like we were
great.
watching a video, but it was her and her perfection.
I did it for a little while.
You were great.
Yeah, but I was literally, I am not lying, and I exercised. But my abs were sore after the next few days. I was like, gosh, why are my abs sore?
But who was the most perfect on that trip? Chris.
Oh my gosh.
He could.
He could. He I'm sorry, but he danced like he was a stripper. He was great, though. We loved him. He was amazing. He was amazing.
We actually love him and his wife. They're such amazing people.
Gosh, you really can move. I mean, he was doing handstands.
I felt inadequate after watching.
Yeah, he could outdance all of us. He put us all to shame. I mean, all of us.
Was that your favorite part, the dancing?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Harvey's like, did you grow up in a strip joint?
He said that to Chris. That would be a skill.
I loved him so much, but he hurt his foot dancing.
Oh, yeah, he did.
And so he was out for the count. I was so upset.
That's sad. And also, I missed that whole thing because, of course, I went to bed because I was like, I'm ready for bed. I'm very tired. I'm going to bed. There's too many people.
I wanted to learn some moves. I did. I was like, Chris, you have to teach me some moves.
You can still learn.
But he hurt his foot.
Yeah.
Oh, I love them. They were more my favorite couple.
That was a good trip, though. Croatia.
Yeah.
And we were in Italy right before that. Me, and Reset.
Yeah, we had a good time. Venice was beautiful. And we went to Milan.
We went to Milan. What are you laughing about?
I'm laughing because Pri always wants to see things, right? All these cathedrals. And I get really like, how many cathedrals can we see? I mean, how many? Don't they all look the same?
Wait a minute. Let me just establish this. Carlos.
It's terrible.
Have you ever been to Milan?
It's beautiful.
Okay. It's so beautiful. It's like, I had a cab driver the first time. I had a cab driver the first time I went to Milan, and he said Milan was like a grand old lady. That's what he called the city.
It was beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's like a really unique city. But the most exceptional part of Milan is the Duomo, which is the huge cathedral in the heart of the city. And right next to the Duomo is like this incredible shopping, like a galleria of shopping. And like one of the most famous, like I didn't know this, but like multi-level stores. It's called La Rinascente and it's incredible. So
that's where we went, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we went to La Rinascente, but then there was all that stuff. I forgot what the name of that gallery is. It's
I can't remember. It's beautiful.
A cross, like it's shaped like a cross and it's all glass. So you're like in a glass house, basically. So
big
anyway, we went there,
like
big atrium. And so we get there and I'm like, okay, girls, do you want to go see the Duomo? Because I've already seen it. Like I've been in it. I've seen it. It's really amazing. It's iconic. It's iconic. And Nan looks at me and she goes, how many cathedrals can one see? And I was like, what? When's the last time you were in a cathedral? Like when?
years ago, when I was seeing it.
She's like,
in Rome.
we don't need to see no cathedral. Let's go shopping. So we shopped the crap out of Milan. But in the meantime, we didn't see one historic thing,
I'm the
Carlos.
worst when it comes to that. I'm sorry. I really am. We're good travel partners.
We are.
We are really good travel partners. I think that's probably the only thing. I love history. I do. I love to see it, but not always.
Carlos, do you like history?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Do you like to see like historical things?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Why?
It's
Because it's so
beautiful.
educational, right?
It's interesting,
Yeah.
Well,
but for a while, but not for.
Oh,
for,
see, well,
I mean, when you travel with groups, also.
Yeah. Oh, I can't do the
Not
groups.
everyone likes
No.
to do the same for that long.
Yeah.
So you have to move fast.
well, we don't do any
no.
historical stuff, but we have so much fun.
We
I don't
do.
care. I
No,
don't care.
we-
I'm good with it.
I was in Paris with my husband, and he will tell you that we went to where I went to the Louvre,
The Louvre.
and it was like 30 minutes in, and I was like, okay, I'm done. And he's like, John, I'm going to see the Mona Lisa. And I'm like, I can't do anymore. I'm looking at all these statues. And it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate it. I appreciate it, but I'm done in a little, like 30
Like how many
minutes an hour.
paintings can you see? How many cathedrals? How many paintings in world famous museums?
I liked it. I just was ready to go after a little while.
But what was your favorite thing when you guys went to Holland? Remember that?
Oh yeah, the Anne Frank.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that
Yeah.
museum, because it was like an hour tour and we were done.
Is that why?
No, I enjoyed it. I learned a lot about it. It was really, really, really interesting to learn about.
You said it was very profound.
It
a profound
was,
experience.
yeah.
When you think about
Yeah,
the hardship and the difficulty and
Mhm.
the story is so. It's such
And
an
then I
amazing
watched
story.
it on TV when I got home to really
Yeah.
kind of. So I really appreciated that to
Yeah.
see that it was.
See, you do love some.
I think it's
culture
different because it's
history.
more of like a story.
Yeah.
I get more, I think museums to me, I just kind of look at something, look at it. This was more like you walk through, you have your, and there's a story being told. And so
Yeah.
it really like brings me in. And then you see like where they hid, they were hiding. And then I find that very interesting
Yeah. Yeah.
and sad at the same time.
It is.
But I'm not, I mean,
So I just brought that up because I just want to prove to everybody
that I do like some things. I'm just not a big museum. I do like the museum, like the, when we were in, I think Chicago, it's the animals where all the dinosaurs and
the
all that.
Natural History Museum.
Yeah, I like that. That was fun.
I didn't know you went there.
I did with Harvey. Yeah.
Oh, that's
I went.
amazing. Harvey's so he loves that kind of stuff.
It reminded me of the night at the museum. I was waiting for all the little things.
You guys will learn over the course of time that everything is related to a movie. Our homegirl over here. What else? What are some of our other favorite trips?
What else have we done?
Yeah.
I do like doing road. We did a road trip to Georgia. Has anybody ever stopped at Buc-ee's
Oh my God.
Road? What is it? Truck stop?
No, I think it's like, what is it called? Buc-ee's?
Buc-ee's.
It's just Buc-ee's,
It's like
right?
a huge gas station.
We never
with-
stopped there before. We
Yeah.
went in there and we were like, wow.
Well, Bo told us to stop
Yeah,
there.
that's right.
And Bo's my sweetheart,
Mhm.
but he also does like a ton of travel, like on the road traveling
Mhm.
for work. And he told us like, you have to go to Buc-ee's. And we're like, why go to a gas station? We don't want to go to a gas station. And he was like, you've never been to a gas station like Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
So of course we were intrigued.
Yeah, we were driving from Georgia, a road trip. We were
Yeah,
on a
road trip. Yeah.
Yeah, we go in there. We're like, you could do Christmas shopping here.
It is, Buc-ee's is the best. And we're not getting paid. By the way, nobody knows us. So we're definitely not getting paid by anybody.
We're not doing a plug on
to do plugs for anybody. But Buc-ee's is like a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah.
And the food is incredible there.
Listen,
Have you been to Buc-ee's?
Yes, I like the beef jerky.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's
And I
famous.
got like 10 different types.
Yeah.
Do you know what I came out with?
What?
Just take a guess. I came out with a hot dog on a stick wrapped in like,
That's it.
what do you call it? Like a pastry shop. It was like this long hot
You
dog.
didn't try the...
It was so good. I was like, this is the best hot dog like a pig. It was like a pig in a blanket, like an extra large.
It was a pig on a stick.
It was a pig on a stick.
Gross.
I wasn't sharing it either. I was like, this is the best.
I did not ask.
And I don't eat that kind of stuff. I don't eat that.
Did you like it, Priya?
At Buc-ee's?
Yeah.
I love Buc-ee's, but I like the beef jerky there.
She didn't like the pig on the stick.
I thought the pig on the stick was like gross. And it also looked gross. It was like, ew, like a hot dog on a stick.
Like
it was a pig in the blanket, not just a hot dog. It was wrapped in this pastry shell.
Flaky pastry.
It was good.
It was good.
That's like the worst. I mean, like, I know it's not great for you, but I normally wouldn't eat. I normally don't eat that stuff, but I was like, oh, I'm going to try that. We were starving.
Yeah, we were hungry. Mm-hmm. That was amazing though. Buc-ee's is worth the visit to anybody who's watching. And again, we have not been compensated by Buc-ee's whatsoever. Nobody knows us.
And so we're going to have one around here.
Oh, really?
We are?
You didn't know?
No,
they got approved by the city. They got the lot and everything.
Okay, that's exciting.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I could go get my pig on a stick.
Yeah, anytime you want to.
Carlos, what about you? What about traveling for you? Anything?
I love traveling.
You do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like nature mostly.
That's what we like. What's your favorite nature trip that you've done? You've been discovering a lot of places around here.
I went to Argentina.
Yeah.
What is very close to the South Pole. Walking the glacier and everything.
Argentina?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I had no idea. Did you know it was very close to the South Pole?
No idea.
Yeah, there's a area where basically I stayed there for 2 weeks and it was super cold.
Oh, it's cold.
Even trying to get
near the South Pole?
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's a place where you can walk the glacier.
That is incredible. I had no. Wow. If you said Argentina and glaciers, I would never have guessed.
Me either. I would think that it would be hotter.
I don't know how far I went south.
Yeah.
But wasn't any more population.
Wow.
Over there.
So it was like remote.
Very remote.
Yeah.
And I love it. It was cool. Nice.
So can you be like in a hot area one day and then the next day you're like on a glacier? Is that what you're saying? Is that how it is?
No, the weather pretty much is the same. It's cold.
Oh, it is
everywhere around.
Okay.
You have to fly north again to begin to see the weather changing.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, we have some work to do with
because I had no idea.
Science and geography, not our strong suits, but you've like piqued my curiosity. I'm going to look that up after this. I am.
Yeah, because she knows everything.
I don't. I actually don't.
I never been in
Alaska. New fact.
I never been in Alaska. You been in Alaska?
No.
I have.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Beautiful.
Alaska is beautiful.
I bet it should be pretty much the same, but in the opposite side.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I believe.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I know that we went in June and it was cold. It was cold in June.
Yeah.
Because they won't do cruise ships, of course, in the winter. You never can make it through the ice.
Right.
So, but that's interesting.
Yeah. You know what? I'm actually looking at the TV like behind me and it reminds me of our trip to Venice like the first trip that we made in 2017. Do you remember that? When we went to Venice and we were sitting
with my niece.
Yes, with Lauren.
We were in Florence. Went to Florence. Yeah.
Went to Florence and then we went to Venice.
Oh gosh.
And that was and I will tell you, I have never been punked the way
I thought you were going to talk about like lesson learned. People don't, don't drag your luggage. Like if you think it's going to be easy.
Okay, so let's start with the beginning. So we went there and we were going to get on like one of the gondolas that kind of drive you from like the train station. We took a super high speed train from Florence to Venice. First time for all of us being there. And we were going to do that. And we were worried for whatever reason that the gondola driver was going to like take us the long way or something like that. So we were like,
I wasn't worried. Not me. I wanted to take the gondola.
Okay. So Lauren and I outvoted her and we walked the whole way, but we had a reservation at like one of the top 10 or 20 waterside restaurants in the world. So travel tip, right?
Yes.
Just travel tip. Get on a gondola and go to where you want to go. That's their version of a taxi. There is no such thing as Uber
No.
or Lyft in Venice.
There's no cars, really.
No cars.
No.
Everything's pedestrian.
Mm.
And what we
Yeah.
forgot is we had all our suitcases because we flew in to Rome, took a high-speed train to Florence, stayed there for a couple of days, and then took a high-speed train to Venice. And we had all our bags for the trip. So we forgot that there's like 1,000 bridges
Yeah.
in Venice because you have to cross the canals. It's like a water town. So we dragged all our stuff there and we finally got to this restaurant who had told us, if you miss your reservation by 15 minutes, we're going to give your table away because they're super popular. Turns out, and they are super popular, but just not that day. We could have taken our time, but we're like running with our suitcases on the cobblestones, sweating profusely. We finally got there and we sat down. And that was like, first of all, huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
But then secondly, that began what we're calling the Great Deception. It was a great deception that occurred. So I'll tell you what happened. I like to play tricks on my friends. So I like to like punk them a little bit. So, you know, like if something happens, I'll say something that's just not true. And then they're like, that's not true. And I'll go, yeah, that's right. I'm like always playing little jokes.
We figured out like, we're like, you're lying.
Yeah, they know my lying face because I can't lie. I don't know how to lie. Like I go like that when I lie. I go, yeah, I picked that up at like a flea market in Timbuktu. And they'll go, really? And I'll go, yeah. And I have this stupid face on. So anyway, I'd been punking them kind of a lot up until that point in time because Nanny gave me the lesson of my life. So this is how it began. So we sit down and I say, oh my God, I have the most terrible headache.
Yeah. And everybody knows me. Like I carry like all my medicine, it's all mixed. Like I know what everything is.
But
you know?
like explain what mixed means.
Well, together, like if I have Tylenol, Advil, something, you know.
It's all loose pills in a fabric
But it
pouch.
says Tylenol, Advil on it. I know what it is.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay.
If you say so.
Well,
I
no,
do.
and Nanny doesn't, just for the record, everybody, she does no drugs. I do no drugs. But some of those pills are not labeled. So I said.
It's like 800 milligrams of Motrin.
Yeah, like that one's just like, okay, that one's like a big pill. So I always give her grief for those pills because I'm like, that is the least organized thing I've ever seen in my life. And she holds the pouch open and she's like, like whenever she's looking for, for like an upset stomach or whatever, she's like, oh yeah. And so that's the standard. So she goes, oh, you want me? Okay, now my pill pouch works for you. And I'm like, yes. So she pulls out this blue pill and she hands it to me and I immediately jam it in my mouth and I take a big gulp of water and I'm like, oh, thank God. Because I had like a migraine. It was hot, sweaty. We're dragging suitcases all over Venice. And then she says,
No, I look at her and I go, I said, I think I gave you the wrong pill.
Oh my gosh.
I go, and I don't know why this came to me first, but I go, I think I gave you a Quaalude. And I looked at her and I go, oh, you might start getting, she goes to me.
I go, what?
Yeah.
I said, excuse me?
I tortured
what
her.
What the F?
Yeah.
Did you just say a Quaalude?
Yeah. She goes, why do you have a Quaalude?
I said, first of all, why do you even freaking have a Quaalude? And I was like, and secondly, like, what is a Quaalude? I don't even know. And then she's like, she kept going like this. I don't know.
I think you're going to get sleepy really quickly.
And I said, I feel sleepy. I said, I'm already feeling sleepy. I was like, oh my God, what if she goes, you might pass out. And I was like, I have to get back to the hotel room. I'm like, you guys, I don't even know where it is. And she's like, sorry.
I let it go for a little bit.
And I said, why do you even have a Quaalude?
I don't know.
I said, I'm going to effing kill you. I've never done a single drug in my life. And now I've mistakenly taken a Quaalude. I was like, I can't believe this. I start sweating. Like it basically ruined my meal at that moment. And then
I told her the truth. I said, no, it's not a Quaalude. But that got back for her for all her lying, her lying that she does.
Oh my gosh. She just said.
But it was so good. My niece Lauren was there, and we both were. I
Lauren,
was like,
they didn't stop
don't-
laughing.
But it is a story that we tell all the time.
Yeah.
Because I got her really good.
Oh my gosh.
Really good.
Like
She's like, why do you have a Quaalude? And I didn't even know why in the world I said Quaalude. I could have said anything else.
We had to
I don't
look
know.
up online what a Quaalude was and what the effects of Quaaludes are.
Yeah, do you even know what a Quaalude is?
I don't know.
See?
It's like knock knock. This like the 70s discos
Yeah,
are
it's so
calling. They
crazy.
want their drugs back.
Yeah. It was weird. I don't know where
It's like a trippy weird. I don't even know. What does it
I
even
don't
do to
know.
you?
No idea.
Nobody knows.
I can't remember. We looked it up, but I don't remember.
The Quaalude, the great Quaalude deception.
And we went back there last year and we laughed about it because like this is where the Quaalude deception happened.
It's like the ultimate punk.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
funny.
It was funny.
But you got over it.
I did. I was so relieved that I hadn't taken a Quaalude.
Yeah, she was happy that I didn't give her
Like I didn't get mad even. I was like, oh, thank God.
It was just an Ivory Pro 800 milligrams Motrin.
Yeah, it was. But in the meantime, and I've never again teased her about the pill pouch.
You never got lost?
No.
Like you going somewhere and then you take the wrong route? Right.
We've actually gotten
Just
lost.
walking.
Yeah, walking
Yeah.
in Florence. And I have to say something. No one has the sense of direction that this woman has. No one.
Nanny?
It's unbelievable. It's like traveling with a satellite.
I'm a human compass.
She
you
is
like
a
that?
human compass. She is the human compass because I remember we were on that trip when the great Quaalude deception trip. Lauren and Nan and I were all walking down the streets of Florence and it was getting darker and we'd been out shopping and we went to go look. And so we're looking in Venice. It was in Venice, right? We're looking on a thing and like Apple Maps or Google Maps don't work.
Horrible.
It's like it keeps like cycling.
Yeah.
It doesn't work the same way it does here at all. And Nan's like, I think we should go right here. And Lauren's like, okay, it says left.
I was
Like it
so
says
done
left.
with
And she's
it.
like, I think we should go right. And then we finally gave up because I was following. I'm like, Lauren's got the maps. Well, like the human compass got us back to our hotel. Like,
you went right.
lickety split. Yeah.
She was worried we were
You
going to
went
get
right.
She was worried we were going to get mugged. She's we are going to get attacked. We're going to get mugged. I go, ugh,
We were in a very dark spot.
Yeah.
And it was sketchy where we were.
Yeah.
I don't know how we but it's not
I
that
was
big.
worried.
So you can just wander into the wrong
I said,
neighborhood.
you're fine. Priel protects us.
Yeah. She goes, ain't nobody going to mess with me. That's what she really said. True. She's kind of tough.
Oh, no, but we were okay. We just, we were walking in circles.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we did.
But yeah, those, like the walking, Google things
so
don't work that great.
Travel tip, don't use maps when you're in a faraway land.
It's hard.
And you're not in America because maps work perfectly in America.
Yeah. It tells you you're going one direction and you're not going there. We're like, wait a minute.
In
this
other-
is where we started.
In other cities around the world.
Yeah. I think we walked past this.
I said,
actually, when we were in Milan, we did the same thing.
We did.
With Reset. We were walking around. I'm like, guys, we've been around here.
She kept going, this is the same park we just passed.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's actually true.
That.
It
You have
is,
to
right?
be very careful with the maps.
And when
One day I was traveling
yeah.
back to the airport, and I checked the address on the GPS. It was in Brazil, I believe so.
Yeah.
And it took me to a dumpster.
Oh.
Yeah, you see?
A dumpster.
You were like, I'm not getting on a plane
It
in this
happens.
dumpster.
I got scared, like, oh, where I am. And then somebody who was living there said, you have to leave. You
Wow.
have to leave right now.
Ooh, like
Dicey.
like bad.
Dangerous.
Like very bad neighborhood.
Dangerous.
Like you have to leave right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I was using the GPS.
Wow.
The map, the Google Maps or
See?
something like that.
See, we could have gotten in big trouble. But we should just listen to Nanny. I always go, whatever she says, that's what we're going to do. Yeah, for real.
She gives me way too much credit.
I do. Even here, even in America. Remember when we went to Fort Lauderdale and we were walking down the street?
Oh,
I feel safe. I feel safer when I'm with Nan because she's like always watching.
I am.
what's
I'm
around.
always on guard in a sense. I always look, like
You should.
I think like you have to be careful. Like because you have to be really aware. Because I say that
Yeah.
one of those things. It's like when you're going to get
Yeah.
attacked, they look for you when you're not paying attention.
Yeah, they do.
They say to look them right in the eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at them right in the eye.
Okay,
Like right in the eye.
I definitely
Carlos.
wouldn't look him. Right, you're looking Carlos right in the eye. They'll be like, something's wrong with that girl's eyes. The last time we were in Fort Lauderdale, we saw a huge fight on the street. Remember that?
Two girls fighting in the street.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, on Las Olas.
Did
Las
you
Olas.
record it?
No, we didn't. But
I
come
can't
on.
stand when people record.
let me
that
tell you
stuff.
something. We saw that and we were like, oh no. And I was like, let's go over there. We need to help that girl. And she put her arm out. She goes, we're not going anywhere.
Yeah, no.
But it started with a bunch of shouting.
Yeah.
And it was actually two women and they were having a lover's spat.
Yeah, I'm not getting in the middle of that. Not happening.
I would have jumped on them. I would have jumped on the big bully one. There was the one that was a bully and she was pounding.
Carlos,
she was kicking.
Do you
woman.
believe that?
I would have done it. I would have done it.
Well, next time I'm gonna let you loose.
Yeah, trust me. I look a lot less dangerous than I really am.
I'm gonna let her loose. No, because this is how I look at it. There's two girls fighting. If it was a guy beating up a girl, I seriously have a problem with that. I would not. We would.
What would you do? Jump on him and put your arm around it.
I probably would just go over there and be like, just calling the police. I'd be like, just get the heck off of her. Exactly.
Yeah.
I would. You got to be so careful nowadays because a lot of people they get killed or hurt by in especially domestic disputes.
No.
But two girls, they were just having their little lovers quarrel. They could, they could handle each other.
Oh my God. They could not handle each other. The one girl was on the ground, curled up. This is why I felt bad for her.
You took my
and
man.
the other girl.
You took my No, they were together.
They were together, Carlos.
They were
weren't,
lovers.
They weren't playing for that team. They were lovers. Yeah, they were lovers.
Mm-hmm.
And the big tough one was kicking her. And I was like,
it didn't last long.
Yeah.
It didn't last because she threw her. I mean, we did feel bad, but you have to pick and choose. And there were people calling the police too. There were other girls that were calling the police. Yeah. So it wasn't like we were just leaving this girl getting her, but I just felt like, if these two girls are fighting, you got to be careful getting in the middle. I would definitely have a hard time with a man beating up a woman. Now, would I get into two guys fighting? No, I wouldn't get into two guys fighting either. I mean, I think you could, make a phone call, try to help in that way. But you have to be so careful about literally putting yourself in a position in the middle of a fight. It's no joke. Yeah. Now, Pri,
I would have.
I would help you.
I would have done it.
Oh,
Oh,
that.
yeah. If I was getting beaten up.
Oh, hell yeah.
You better jump in there.
I got your back.
I would record it.
Listen, I almost got in a fight once at Ross. Dress for less.
Did you just hear him?
You would record it.
He would help you.
She would help me.
I would help.
I will record it.
I'd help you, Carlo.
And I will say, you can do it, Priya.
Go, Priya, go.
You got this.
I would be like,
Scrappy.
Pull her hair.
I'm very little and I move fast.
She's Scrappy. Just all over the place.
I'd be like all over the place.
Ay, that's so funny. That's so funny.
I love it.
Oh my God.
But yeah, that was an experience. But
that's also a travel tip. Don't get involved in a fight on the street.
You just have to be careful.
I
mean, and kids involved, I'm in for sure. Like I can't watch that. Just have to be like kind of aware of what you're subjecting yourself into.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but and you don't expect that on Las Olas, but
no. I actually had a really cool conversation today. I was talking to my therapist about us that we were going to be podcasting on travel. And we were talking about like the coolest part about travel though is that you're making these memories, like what you said, turning your journeys into memories. Yeah. And the worst part that both my therapist and I agreed upon was what happens is people get so caught up and like videoing it or Instagramming or taking a picture. Yeah. And you completely remove yourself from the wondrousness of that moment.
I completely agree. I completely agree. We don't take a lot of pictures or do anything. We don't do that. I like to be in the moment. Sometimes like when I'm with some people and they constantly doing that, I do get on my knees a little bit sometimes. Like, put the phone down. Like, let's enjoy this. Like, you want a picture here and there, but if you're constantly filming and taking pictures, and it's got to be freaking perfect. And then you're like, oh my gosh, how many times are you going to take this picture? I'm taking it one more time. I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't care what we look like. Photoshop me out. But you do. You miss those really those moments that are really important.
Well, this is what Nancy said to me.
Okay.
Nancy, my therapist, she said this is people take pictures to make the trip look perfect.
Oh.
And it can be and then they believe it later. She said, which is not accurate thinking. It's not living accurately. So because travel can be so stressful, because there can be the low moments, I will tell you, on one of my trips to Italy, I actually parted ways with Nan and her family because I wanted to go experience. I didn't want to get on a boat. They were doing a different trip. Yeah. And I said, oh, I'm going to go on my own and I'm going to go experience Umbria. I went to Umbria and a couple of other places. And traveling solo is really hard and you feel really lonely at certain times. This is long before I met Bo and found, the person that I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. I went and thinking, oh, I'll just be able to experience things. And experiencing life without somebody, for me, some people are fine with it. But I learned something about myself, which I guess travel is the greatest educator. Like, I think that's a quote that's out there somewhere. I learned that I don't want to experience life alone. Like, I didn't want to look at this magnificent coastline or look off into the distance, at like the Isle of Capri and be by myself at that moment. But all that to say, I started talking about Nancy telling me, my therapist telling me, that you lose your accuracy. You don't remember those lonely moments because you're looking at your perfect Instagram selfie. And I guess
that's a whole nother podcast.
That is another podcast. But taking pictures of what's not real when you're traveling, you divest yourself of the value of like learning to know yourself a little better, and I think that that's one of the biggest things I could say about travel is that, you lose the opportunity to know yourself when you're taking pictures and memorializing it in a way that's not accurate. What do you think, Nanny?
No, I agree. Like I said, it's you're putting up a false like facade, like so important to be present.
Yes.
And it really is. It's so important to be present and enjoy. I know we say it's kind of cliche, enjoy every moment, but you really, it's important to really try to, we miss out on so much in life.
We do.
The small little things that we just get so wrapped up in wanting things to be perfect.
Yeah.
But I work on that,
Yeah.
I think I've done real good, like with the phone situation.
You're amazing with it.
I've really tried really hard not to let it consume me because it can consume you. Even like being on the phone and texting, and sometimes I'm like, I just want to throw my phone across the room.
You would.
I say that, right? I'm like, I just want to throw it. Like
you would do a tech fast.
Carlos, I could. Oh,
Carlos,
tech fast.
That's
good.
But Carlos, you're the ultimate tech guy. I mean, like you're so brilliant with everything technology wise. Do you ever get to a point where you're like, I just don't want to be on the phone anymore. I don't want to be doing this anymore. I just need quiet. Do you ever get there?
Actually, no. When we travel, we try to take a few pics, a few videos.
Yeah.
But we only we enjoy a lot. We just get to do a few photos.
Yeah, so you don't overdo it.
Yeah. We
You're very
don't
balanced.
get to that point.
Yeah, you and Junie are like really balanced. Yeah.
But you did, like, when we'll talk about it on another podcast, but you did have to do the disconnect with your son when he was too much on all that. So I mean,
when we travel, we don't have that issue.
Yeah.
At home, that's another story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
That's another story.
Yeah, we definitely got to do a podcast on that. It's called Disconnecting.
Yes, we actually have.
I was doing and to all the families in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. You look and you see, like, my thing is like when you're away somewhere and you see people taking constant pictures, you're like, just for 1 second, put the phone down, like smell the smells and like feel the air and
all your senses
and remember the sounds because you'll never be in this place again. Most of us don't ever go back to the same place.
It's very true.
So we've had some good travel tips.
We did.
Do you want to recap the tips?
Well, I think we should Are we almost done? Well, we should talk about New York just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like we took a trip to New York once.
Yeah.
Well, several times. We've had some great trips in New York. New York we've had some really good times.
Yeah, we really have.
Good food.
Manhattan.
We do. I have to say.
But that was pre-pandemic.
Yeah, pre-pandemic. Yeah. But I do have to say the crazy thing, and we'll get back to New York, but I'm the type of person, I'm like, I want to go somewhere where the food is fantastic.
Yes.
It's all about food.
Yeah.
Like we'll think of a place. I'm like, oh, what do they serve? Like what kind of food do they have?
So this is like last year when we were planning the Croatia, the Italy trip before Croatia. Yeah. We were planning it. And I was like, I know, let's go to Switzerland. Let's go to Austria. And you said to me, I don't want to go to those places because all they serve is schnitzel.
And potatoes.
So I go, don't be ridiculous. Yeah. There are plenty of different things at in Switzerland. And we went to go, I went online and I went food in Switzerland. And I clicked on like food in Switzerland and the AI came up with the foods primarily served in Switzerland are schnitzel and potatoes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would love to see it one day. We just have to find an Italian restaurant or something. Sushi. Anyway, but our New York trip and then
oh yeah. And then we'll call it
out.
Yeah. So what was your highlight of that particular trip that I know that you're thinking of?
Gosh, I was thinking, and well, I love New York. You can live without it. I mean, like
I basically ran the streets of that city as a little kid with my cousins.
I tried to get her to go back, but she's like, no. But I think it's gonna happen because somebody else wants to go.
Yeah, my sweetheart.
So, but on this particular trip that we went on, I just have to say about this little experience. My nephew, Michael. Shout out to you, Michael.
Hi, Mikey.
For all your adventure that you bring to the table with us. It's always adventurous.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is he thinking?
We love you, Michael.
He took us to this play. Was it off Broadway?
No, it was on.
It was on Broadway?
No, it was
I can't remember.
Broadway. It was off Broadway. Yeah.
Well, we go and we it's a bunch of us. And
what was it called?
It's called See No More, right?
It was Speak No More.
Oh, sorry. Speak No More.
I think.
Yeah, Speak No More. It's not. It is Speak No More. Yeah, but because you can't speak. So we go to this place, right? We have dinner, all right, and dinner was good, and then we go upstairs. It's like this elevator takes us upstairs, right?
Well, first they give you masks.
Oh yeah, after dinner though, we ate dinner, and then we went up there, and they give you these funky masks. It's like
Carnival, like the big, the white mask with like the long nose.
Yeah, we have to show you this picture. It's really like weird. Like, I'm like, what the heck are we supposed to do with this? We got to wear this mask?
So let me just interject for 1 second. It was like the rage of Manhattan at the time.
Everyone was seeing it.
Everyone, you have to, if you go to Manhattan, you have to see Speak No More, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So it was like a thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you finished. So we
my favorite
she's got
memories.
The best memory anyway.
This is one of my favorite memories of traveling ever. So Michael's like, this is going to be quite an experience. You guys are never going to experience something like this again. So
he was correct.
So we put on these masks and Nan's like, what's going on? Why are we wearing these masks? And so Michael's like, okay, this is part of the thing. So just go with it. Yeah. Go with it. Like he says to his aunt. And we're like, okay. Now I had heard a little bit about it because my cousins live in Manhattan and they had been to it, but I didn't know what the actual thing was. So because they had said, hey, the next time you come, we'll go to Speak No More because it was that iconic at the time. So we go and we're wearing a mask. And we start going through these dark hallways and then you come into a scene and it's a modern day version, just so everybody knows. It's a modern day version of Hamlet. Yeah. Okay. So let's put that out there. So you're going in and you're seeing Hamlet enacted, but by like modern day, like a set in Scotland.
It was freaky.
And it like you had to be silent. Like you had to, it was like performance art and they weren't saying a whole lot of words either.
They didn't speak.
So they didn't speak. We didn't speak.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we're standing there looking, and I'm like puzzling, like, I wonder what this is about.
Yeah.
And I hear, what the hell is going on?
I'm like, what the hell is this place?
Why? And everyone goes,
shh, constantly, like, shh, be quiet.
She'd be like, I'm getting a drink.
I go, where is the bar in here? We're walking, but Carlos.
In
they
the
were like
pitch
zombies.
black.
They're like walking around like zombies, these actors. They're like zombie walking. And
the actors are zombies, and the people following them look like zombies too.
And we're part of it. And you could act in it with them, or it's kind of right.
No, you couldn't act in it with them.
You could participate.
I don't remember that.
Yes.
Part.
It was like they would pull in some rooms. They would pull people. And they had one scene where the girl was in the tub and she cut her wrist and blood was everywhere.
At the end.
It was crazy.
At the end, and she's naked. So of course I was like, this is disgusting.
Completely naked.
Totally naked. And I was like, gross. I'm like this. And I hear again.
I fell.
She'd had like probably 3 drinks, which is more than enough for her. She was like, my God, they're naked. She ruined that performance for everybody. And she's like, this is disgusting. What's happening? I need a drink. So we all, and what would happen is
split up.
You'd go from scene to scene.
It was pitch black in some areas.
And we were all wearing high heels. Yeah. And the hallways were not even.
No.
She fell down.
Busted my ass.
No one was there to help her.
I was like, somebody pick me up, please.
We found her at the bar. Lauren and I found her at the bar eventually.
Oh my God.
She had made besties with the bartender. Yeah.
The security guy. I'm like, dude, what is this place?
Yeah.
This is Shakespeare. I'm like, I was like, it was so crazy. And then my nephew, I'm like, Michael, what the heck was that? You know, it was hilarious though. But it's a memory I'll never forget.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Because we had a couple drinks before we went in too.
Yeah.
And
and then she had a couple of drinks at the bar because she was so frustrated.
I was like, get me out of this place.
You'd hear, why isn't anybody talking?
I mean, you had to be so quiet, but it was so bizarre. It was bizarre. Come on.
It was surreal.
We were literally holding hands, me, you, and Lauren, trying to stay together.
Yeah, we were locked elbows.
Because it was so dark in there. We had high heels on and it was sand.
Yeah. It
was like sand in some areas.
They had set it in like a dilapidated building.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that was funny.
So
that is a memory.
Art. Yeah.
It was very artsy.
It's performance art.
Performance art. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I did something like that.
You did?
Yeah, but that was actually in
Were
Argentina.
you naked?
I think it was a blind.
What the hell?
Blind.
Why do you have to even ask questions like that?
But they put
they blindfolded you.
They blindfold you. You can't see anything. You just hear all the noises.
Oh.
Yeah.
But that wasn't like that, right?
But what were you doing in there?
It's a kind of art.
Really?
It's performance art.
Kind of performance.
So were you sitting or were you walking?
You were sitting,
okay.
but you don't see anything. You just you just hear the noises.
Oh,
that's so
they do
weird.
everything with noises. But you
stimulating
say it
your
was
senses.
dark, but you
it was
could
dark. Well,
you could see it was dark, but you could see the stage.
Well, each room you go into, like every time you were walking to a room, the way to the room, it was like down like little mazes.
Yeah, it was like hallways, and you had to go up and down stairways. Yeah. There was no lights.
But that it got some great reviews.
Oh my God!
Why are you laughing over there?
It was the thing.
Because I remember Nancy.
She fell down, and we could hear. I fell down.
I'm like, I need help up because my feet were sinking in the sand.
Somebody
help me.
Help me, please.
I'm so funny.
Get my ass up.
Yeah, that's. I guess that's our last travel story because we're gonna have to wrap it up.
Yeah, well, it was great though, Michael. Thank you though. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
We
It was
do
great.
love you, Michael. It was quite a memory, and we still remember it.
Yeah,
to
we'll be
this day.
talking about it forever. I have a few other things, Michael, I could talk about but I'm not going to bring them up.
Yeah, thank you. Nobody.
He knows what I'm talking about. All right, anyway.
Okay.
I think we're good,
I
right?
think we are. I think we're going to call it.
Okay.
And just really thank everybody for watching.
Yeah, and too, I think we're so lucky that we are able to travel and do all these great things. I mean, seriously, like we really are. We're really blessed.
Yeah,
I think so. And
we are blessed.
Yeah,
and also like one of the reminders. There were many years that we didn't travel, and we were working really hard to do that. And my words of wisdom are: anyone can travel, and you can save, and then go and do the trip.
Yeah.
and then really enjoy that. And then the other thing is sometimes you can travel in your town.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can travel right into your backyard.
Agreed.
And when we
Oh,
were
yes.
kids, we used to like your kids, Carlos, they're so sweet. They have this whole like story that they're telling about their excavating in the backyard.
Oh gosh.
And so we
hilarious,
should be
yeah.
more like kids. We should
Yeah.
have imagination and go out and enjoy, the
Just-
area around us.
right.
That's travel in and of
Right.
itself.
Yeah.
So
Enjoying the
Yes,
little
that's-
things.
That's great.
Yeah, but we're
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
very, very blessed.
yeah,
And
we are. We are, and we've had some good stories, and we
Yeah.
will share those stories with you
Yes.
as we add more stories to our repertoire of funny travel stories. Anything else, Nanny?
I think that's it. I
Yeah.
think we're good.
You want to close it out?
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us today. And we hope to see you again. And remember to take things lightly while doing life deeply.
Yes, indeed. Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.